Jaymo'sAsmr, and today I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things going on for the new year. By the way, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And I just kind of wanted to come on and rant today, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of things I've been wanting to get off my chest. I can't. My phone won't listen to me. It's scrolling. But there we go. I'm trying to get to the, the, the application that does, there we go. Okay. Now, sorry you guys. I've been a little bit out of it, but let's log in. So yes, my name is Jaymo'sAsmr, and currently I've been contemplating making a video because I don't know, I've been in a weird headspace recently. There's a lot going on for me in the new year, and I feel like this new year has been a big turning point for a lot of people in their lives. Whether it be good or bad, consequentially, good or bad. But again, my name's Jaymo'sAsmr, and I always start a video with the verse of the day. And today's verse of the day is Hebrews 4:10. Let me pull that up a little closer. Hebrews 4:10. For anyone who enters God's rest also rests from their works, just as God did from his. So I think, that's just more of a message to finding internal peace through the Lord. And that internal peace will give you a rest that, is so nourishing in the sense of the rest that God needed to create the world. That's such a message, but back to it again. So today I just kind of wanted to rant, and I guess I'll make a little bit of sounds as I'm ranting, just a little bit of sounds to keep it live and keep it here. But it's just a pretty late time, and I was thinking a lot of things, and I was like, you know what, let me at least rant to 5 people, that view the video, or 10 people, whatever amount it is. It's just more so, maybe this message may help somebody else. But what I was thinking about is, I don't know if there's probably a term for this kind of mindset, I guess, if that's how you'd say it. This sort of mindset or like way of thinking, right? But recently, I've been having issues. Like, I will isolate and abandon things, but I'm very sensitive to people who are in, I guess, pain. I don't know how to put it, right? So, like, in the imagery sense, right? Let's say this is a person who's hurting, right? But me, myself, this is really funny. This is like the only thing I have nearby, but we'll use it. This is me, right? And I will really just separate myself, especially when I'm kind of overwhelmed. But this sensitive person is like kind of boxing themselves in, right? And I was just thinking of the simple fact of how I think, right? Because isolation, I don't know, it's kind of an unhealthy thing, right? You don't want to isolate yourself always. That's not a very healthy thing to do. But at the same time, there is moments where people need breaks and need time to themselves, and need to, do all of the things that they're meant to do. And right now, actually, let me switch the lights. I don't like the color. Right, but my point being, what I've struggled with is the thought, hold on, it's being so annoying, I gotta do it off my phone. It's the thought process of how to handle that. Because whenever it comes to me, like, solving a problem or trying to help somebody, even knowing I'm saying this perfectly, knowing that I'm a hypocrite most of the time. A lot of my advice I don't follow myself, and I even struggled with that, like knowing that, like, and finding a way to deal with that. It's difficult for me to understand a lot. But as for helping others, not saying like all the time, but like the way I perceive helping somebody is trying to explain it to them in a way that fits in their canvas. And when I say canvas, I mean like their painting, right? I feel like God, especially, whether you're religious or not, just in your life, you have given the world an image, a painting in your mind, right? That's just how I'm making it physical. And this painting, as you live life, changes and grows and has additions and all these things, all these things. But if you try to explain to somebody a way to help them or a way to fix that problem, and it doesn't really fit in their world image, or I guess in their painting, it'll come off as like a blemish across across the canvas. It'll look crazy to them. It'll be this beautiful image, but then this random solution that seems almost outlandish will ruin the image of the painting. And I'm not saying to feed into delusion. I'm not saying like the world we live in should be filled with people pleasers and trying to fix people's problems in a way that fits for them. Even though, not everyone is adaptable to all things. But I feel like sometimes trying to fix a problem, fix an issue, fix a lot of things, while trying to fit that solution into a person's canvas, into their world image, is kind of what my goal has been my life, right? And I don't know, just specifically tonight, there's a lot been going on this new year, right? And I'm sure for all of you, good or bad, again, I love that this year has been such a half and half year, in the sense of a lot of people are having beautiful things happen, and a lot of people having turning points. Not in the sense of bad turning points, but in the sense of like new things, new challenges, whether it be a difficult thing or not. It's just new. A lot of these things are new this year. I'd say this year is a turning point. And that's kind of why I'm liking 2026 so far. Because it's like that. So I guess my challenge that's come up to me is trying to get a level of understanding on how I think. I think that when I try to process issues and problems, my first thought is to analyze how I can give them a solution that fits into their painting, into their world image. And sometimes it's a lot. It's kind of what I've been contemplating this new year, right? This new year has been a lot of that for me. And I don't know how to explain it. Like, obviously, I'm not saying like I'm anything special. I'm sure that there's many people who think like that. I'm not prideful enough to think that I think in a way that isn't common. You know what I mean? But it's just a matter of, I don't know a solution to a problem I have, in the sense of, when I try to fix is such a strong word. When I try to provide an opinion or solution to a person's problem and fit it into their world image, I feel like sometimes I lose my own image of the world when I do that. And I guess that's why I said earlier with the people pleasing, right? Because I don't want myself. I guess I'm speaking to myself. This whole video is me talking to myself, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm just using this as an outlet to remember the things that I was thinking tonight, right? But I don't want to please somebody to the point where I guess try to fit into a person's painting so much with a solution that I lose my own values and my own world image. Because I don't know how I feel about the world, about me, about my values, about my morals. I feel like I lose it when I try to hyperanalyze someone else's image so much. And I think that's why I isolate myself after. Because I wonder, like, where resolved, good or bad, based off my, advice, whether it ended good or bad, whether it got to a solution and a resolution that they wanted. It doesn't matter. Afterwards, I sit here wondering, what does my life amount to in the sense of, like, my problems and my constant challenges that come up? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say many problems. I don't have a lot of problems. And I thank God every day for knowing that fact. I have been given outlets and opportunities that I'm blessed to know. And sometimes I feel like in many people's lives, they will feel like they don't have a right to complain. I don't know. There's a lot of people who have lots of issues, and I pray for them, and I hope that they can always receive the help that they need. And if not, that they know that there's always a brighter, side of things. But, for people who maybe always have such a positive outlook on life, and feel like, dang, I mean, it's impossible to never have problems in life. But if someone has such a positive outlook on life that they feel like they've never had problems, it's hard to relate and to complain, and it almost like disassociates you from reality. Like I've been in moments where I literally just feel like I'm not even living because I was so disassociated from the world around me. I would constantly think, like, when you hear your friends, your family, your loved ones, relationships, situationships complain and have issues, and not complain in the sense of like nagging or annoying, just voice their problems and voice their issues in day-to-day life. It's weird to hear and relate to when I feel like when you push to have such a positive outlook. And I'm not like blinding myself blissfully to like a perfect world. I know that there is issues that exist and problems that exist and a lot of things. But I always try to keep a good outlook, at least. Like, this is a growing opportunity. This is a change that needs to happen, And I'm not saying people are wrong for complaining. I think they're right to complain. This world does throw you things that are hard to deal with and are hard to handle. It's just a matter of personal disassociation from the people around me in the world. And I think, it helps me personally to give great advice, but it makes me lose a lot of how I see the world around me and its personal image. So, I guess this was just a rant on isolation and world image, I guess. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna title this video. I'll probably just title it like ASMR, like rant, and hopefully people don't judge me for the way I think. I would hope not. But I guess this is just a thing of how I feel and how I've been personally feeling for a little minute. I don't know what it means to really not care, like, in the sense of not care. Like, I have a very, like, if I can step away, I'd rather step away, but very sensitive, like, to hearing an issue. I feel like I have to be the one to do something. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's a word, maybe. But, I prefer isolation so much. But it's an unhealthy thing to isolate yourself. But sometimes it feels like a good decision, I guess. But it's not. It's not healthy to just separate yourself from others and not talk about it. You have to let feelings out. You have to let emotions go. You have to let, because I don't want to, like, speak about it, I guess. But on that point, as you know, this is me speaking to myself, but now I'm speaking to you. Always voice how you feel, and always put yourself first. It is important, if you want to help others, to of course try to give them a solution that fits their image, that fits their life, that fits their lifestyle. Don't build into their delusion. But if you can find a way to give them a solution that fits the way they think, then perfect. But always put yourself first, right? Your list should always be having you at least first or second. You know, if you believe in a religion, then you're second. If you don't, then you're first. You know, I guess that's how people, see it. But always have yourself up there. Never have yourself lower, because you matter greatly. Because how can you help others if you can't help yourself? I guess that's my message. Don't bend yourself, your will, your morals, your values, your love, your light for anyone else. Your peace comes first over all others. I think that's the point I'm trying to make to y'all. And again, I'm not saying this because my peace has been disturbed or I have many issues. Just in the sense of, if there is someone out there who's hurting over the fact that they've lost themselves, put yourself first. You matter so much, and it's a big thing to understand. You matter so much, so greatly. There's nobody in this world who matters more than you. You may feel like you're worthless, that you're not doing anything, but you have changed a life. You'd be lying to yourself if you said that you've never affected somebody for the better. You've changed somebody's life just by being you. So, you matter. I feel like this is turning into a self-esteem, or I don't know, like therapy session, but it is very true. So understand that, and revel in that fact, and then turn that into confidence that you can help others whilst keeping yourself firm. It's something I'm learning to do now, so don't expect it to be very easy. That's why I'm saying that I turn. Oh my goodness, I turn to isolation, but I'm trying to find a way to not turn to isolation, to keep firm and still keep moving forward. I don't like isolation, but that's not the point. The point is that you put yourself first, and you understand that you're very important, that you're loved, that I love you. I may have never met anyone who's watching this video, but I can for sure say that I love you. Truly, I care, and I want you to live a life that surpasses any I've ever seen. And that I can know that, wow, they're real, and they have a future that they pursue. So again, I guess to end this video off, since it's getting kind of long, I love you. I hope the best for you all. And always put yourself first. Never anyone ahead of you. You matter greatly. So don't sacrifice your peace for someone else. And again, thank you. I haven't posted in a while, but I guess I'll try to keep up a little more.